We heard about taxes, tariffs, inflation, the deficit, and housing, to name a few. But our next guest is more concerned about what we didn't hear. Joining me now is James Lucier, founding partner at Capital Alpha. It's great to have you here, James. What didn't you hear that you wanted to?
Hey, Kelly, it's great to be back. I wanted to hear more about corporate taxes. Vice President Harris has adopted the Biden program from the Treasury Department program earlier this year, $5 trillion of tax increases, including major tax increases on corporations and on wealthy individuals, the capital gains tax, for instance. None of that was questioned. None of that was brought up. The impact of a massive corporate tax increase in America's business was never addressed.
I can't imagine, though, that Trump was up there thinking, now's the time to talk about, massive corporate tax cuts. Is that a line that resonates when you're trying to just, drive turnout and energy and excitement? And maybe it does, but it feels like something more that you and I would talk about potentially.
Well, it might be. It showed that Trump had no plan. He had no strategy. He had no purpose to be there. And I think that was really the problem last night. He was extremely reactive and followed Harris's goading down any number of rabbit holes. He really didn't make a case that the country may be going into recession. We need a powerful economic policy to support future growth. And then as far as her tax cuts go, the $50,000 deduction for starting up a small business, guess what? All of that stuff, all those startup expenses are already tax deductible as ordinary necessary business expenses or Section 179 expensing or even bonus depreciation. I mean, it's a tax cut that does nothing, and yet Harris was the tax cutter in the debate last night.
Interesting. What else did you not hear, or what do you think was kind of under the radar but may end up proving quite consequential?
Well, not a lot of discussion about how the 15% tax rate would work. On the capital gains, Harris has taken a more moderate position from Biden in that she favors a 28% top rate and 33% all-in rate. But her proposal apparently also includes the elimination of the so-called step-in basis. That's when you inherit a farm, or inherit a family business, and the transfer of that business to you is not considered a taxable event,
right,
unless it is an estate or a business that is large enough to be captured by the estate tax. So that step-in basis is a big issue for family farms, for small businesses. It's why the last time Congress considered it, it never moved forward. So we didn't hear about that. Didn't get a lot of detail about the tariffs. We didn't hear about President Trump's idea for his own universal baseline tariff, which I don't think is going anywhere.